Hey EİHUA, it's New here. I watched a little bit of this VOD already. I haven't gone to where you've swapped heroes, but I do think I can provide some help on your tracer for sure. And a lot of your mechanical stuff looks really good, so I just want to talk a little bit more about like more so your cooldowns and your positioning, and then I think we're pretty solid. So let's actually rewatch this because I think right here we see the Widow. And so this is going to be a little bit scary for us. And so we kind of have a choice of, oh, we could maybe try and push her, but that's a little bit far. So I like using our blinks to try and get here, maybe get one back and then push her. Or we can try and take this high ground. Either it would be fine. We know post that Hanzo's up there and we see him now, but we can push him up here. So I wouldn't mind going up these stairs and pushing this Hanzo. Especially since we have 3 blinks, we could use 1 blink in this way. We can maybe use our second one in this way and start getting some good shots on him, and then we can always save our 3rd blink to get out. But I want us pushing someone here. I'm not a huge fan of a triple blink because it kind of puts us in a position where we don't, our only tool to get out is recall, versus we could try and have, in the middle of a fight, we could use a blink, and then it's going to be harder for them to get damage, and then we're regenning our blinks, and then after we take damage we can recall, and then we might have some blinks to get out as well. So I'm not a huge fan of a triple blink, especially when I think we could push this Hanzo using only 1 or 2. And I also, big thing is I don't want us to have all 3 blinks available to us most of the time. I think that just the way momentum goes, we get a lot of value and we provide more value when one of our blinks is like almost always on cooldown. So that's why I think that if we just blink up to the Hanzo here, we can probably solidify this pick. This is fine. I don't mind the focus on the BAP. I really kind of want us pushing the Widow. I don't mind this. This is all fine so far. And we solidify this kill. And this is scary. I honestly would have gone to the Mega, but I do like that you get this kill. And then after this, I would just go and get the Mega. I know we want to give the healer some charge, but if this ball rolls into us, we're dead. And if this Moira chooses to look at us all, we're dead. So just be wary of the Moira orb and then get the Mega. Blink into it. Especially on heroes like Tracer and like other flankers, health pack knowledge is like a really, really big thing. And not being afraid to like go and get them. The only time you're really screwing over your team is if you're getting it when your healer needs it. Yeah, because like especially when I see that Moira right there, I'm like, we're at 15 health. We die immediately if she looks at us. And now I want us kind of taking an off angle so that way we're well, there's 2 things we can do, and I like actually no, this is the enemy ball. What am I saying? I don't mind this, but I really want us to kind of ignore the ball because we don't have a great without our ultimate, it's going to be really hard for us to burst him down because we don't have our ult and we don't have a Discord orb. So I kind of just want us going this way, and then we could try and hit this Moira on this point. So a lot of the times if we can get to good positions, specifically like high ground by walking, it's a lot of value, and then we can use our abilities after we got there. And like we could use 1 blink to get there faster as it charges, just so we don't have 3. And then if we are like, oh, there's actually nothing for us to shoot here, but there's a Moira, then we could position somewhere like here, and we could be kind of lurky and wait for somebody to come in, or we could try and go all the way up here and be up here and deny high ground space. We don't have to go up those stairs, we can go up these. But then we could be up here, and then if their Widow grapples up, we can instantly punish her. The Hanzo comes through here, we can punish him, stuff like that. That was a weird frame. Yeah, but I want us blinking. Yep. How long did we have that blink? We had it for... no, not that long. Okay. But I would just use another blink and get even closer to him. And then I want to shooting this Moira. Yeah, a lot of the times we can just ignore a ball because it's just so hard to get the kill on him. I really do like when you find supports, you're very, very good at target focus. So I just want to put us in positions where we can use this good target focus and these good aim. To solidify kills. That was weird. But anyway. Yeah, like this. Like, I just want us here sooner. So that way we're coming from a more off angle. I want us looking at the Hanzo instead of the ball. Oh, we see the Widow. Good job. Very nice. I still want us looking at the Hanzo. Nice. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I see you thinking about shooting the ball, and then you're like, wait, no, this isn't the right idea. And you're correct. It's not. You see the supports there? You get them. Beautiful. I want us looking at the BAP, though, because we know he's there, too. And now I want us pushing forward. A lot of the times we're going to be just forward. And if we die, it doesn't matter. We're Tracer. We get back immediately. So I want us coming up here, taking this high ground. That means that maybe we go up here and we lurk and we wait for our blinks to come back. And then when we hear this Hanzo who's coming up, which we don't know that yet, but if we sit here and we listen, we'll hear him. Then we can try and get like a cheeky pick on him. I want us further up. I want us staging for the next fight. And that high ground is going to be very, very strong for us. So this high ground is extra strong for us on Tracer because we can use this to blink across and get this Widow. And it's going to be a nice, easy pick for us too. We've been really, really good at consistently killing this Widow. So I want us using this high ground so that way we can get her. It's weird it keeps doing that. Yeah, I don't really enjoy low ground fights. Because it's one thing if we go down that low ground, and you're doing it now, but I wanted it even sooner, so that way we don't have to use blinks now. It's so much harder for us on the low ground to go and get this Widow. It's much, much easier for us from this high ground angle to go and get her. We don't hear her. We kind of hear her clip-clops now. But I just stay up there. We can stay up there. We can stay up here, and if you feel like, oh, I don't want to engage this anymore, we can just wait right here and wait for somebody to engage into us. Tracer is a mix of, so what heroes with high mobility have is they have a really good opportunity to choose which fights you want to take and which fights you don't want to take. So that means that it's like, oh, I've chosen to engage on their Hanzo. He pops Storm Arrow. Bam, I'm out. I used one blink to get him. He pops Storm Arrow. I'm using 2 blinks to get out. And I still have recall for the next time I get a blink in and I can re-engage. It's like stuff like that. So high mobility heroes, and the best example is obviously Ball, is very, very good at picking when to engage. So I like to use that to my advantage, as in I can stay and I can lurk up in a position like this, and then if they choose to push this high ground, I want to engage, I can engage into them because they have now gone into my little area of engagement. And then if I feel like I have all my cooldowns and I'm going to be in a good spot, then I can pick to engage into them. But I really am a big fan of lurking because that gives us our mobility because they've chose to go into us instead of the other way around. And it just makes it a little bit, like I said, so if they push into us, we still have our mobility cooldowns to make it harder for them to shoot us, and we'll have that. So I wouldn't be afraid to lurk a little bit forward, and then while we have our cooldowns, we can choose to either engage in them, or if they push too hard or we don't like what's going on or our team fight's losing, then we can disengage. But having control of this high ground is very, very important, especially against a double sniper comp and against a Baptiste who can take that high ground quite easily. So we're kind of pushing main here. We get a little lost, and that's fine. I don't mind this. I like that we're shooting at this angle. I just think the high ground angle is better, and we kind of disengage pretty early. But I also don't mind it. I like this. We've chosen to go for the back lane. I'd still look for the Moira. Beautiful. Just shoot her. Even shoot through this bubble. It's already broken. Yep. Nice. Nice. Now I want us pushing up again. Don't worry about the payload. They're 6 on payload. But we can, like, now we can try and stage all the way up here. If we're aware of this Widow, we can go get her, but I would just instantly, like, maybe even triple blink all the way here. I might get headshot by the Widow, in all honesty, because I don't see her at the time. But if we, like, we could triple blink over this way, and then we could get, just free shots. I want us being on this side of the spawn room, because this splits their attention of, oh, do they want to try and shoot at the payload, or they want to try to shoot at us? And with this, specifically, if we've made it all the way over here, the Widow has to push all the way out to shoot us, if we're just standing right here and forcing them to, engage into us when, they're trying to leave their spawn. And this is extra good since we have triple blinks. This is fine, that's fine too. I just want that sooner, so that way we'd have 2 blinks right now. Because if we had 2 blinks, we could have maybe not had to recall. So this is something I want you to consider. This is not necessarily 100% true. I just want you to... I think this is a habit you have, and we can maybe try and break it. You can, instead of recalling after you land this stick, you could just blink backwards and we'll have the same effect and we'll still be engaged, and we'll have recall if somebody looks at us. So that way we could still like shoot at the Orisa because she doesn't take any damage from this, but you could try and shoot at the Orisa as well, or we could stay in and try and get the Moira. And so I think you have this habit of immediately recalling after you pulse, because you did it here as well. And just think that maybe it's just like, oh, I don't necessarily need to recall if I also have blinks. I know it's like more dangerous because you're like, I could die to my own pulse in this scenario, but I think like generally your sense is good enough, and if you just blink in one direction, it's going to be much harder for them to get you. So, and that's not always true. Like if you don't, like there is need to like pulse and then recall, but in this scenario, I think you could just stay engaged. Just a habit I think you could start breaking. Because I think you forced out Moira Fade too, so if you were still engaged, you could shoot her. I like that we saw... Ooh, careful of the Widow. Yep, we saw her. I don't mind this. I'd still keep shooting the Moira, or reload our gun, or both. Nice try. We kind of lost that engagement because we didn't reload before we engaged. It's hard... keeping track of ammo is pretty... interesting on Tracer. Anyway. This is fine. I'd focus the Mei first. Mei is a really, really big threat, and now that we know she doesn't have ice block, she's a very easy target for us. I like taking this off angle though. Nice. You're shooting the correct target. Yep. Good recall. It's gonna be a little bit harder now that we're against a soldier. Yeah. So one thing I think, when I was saying get the Mei earlier, I do like that we went and got the BAP. It's just when we see DPS heroes, specifically people like, I'll say Mei, Tracer, and Reaper are probably the biggest three. If you see them use Ice Block, if you see them use Wraith, if you see them use Recall, they're very, very easy to kill. So just try and capitalize on the fact that, oh, they don't have their get out of jail free card. I can start, I can capitalize on that. I like this. I'll just blink into her. Yeah, if we blink into her, we can get some more consistent shots, and we're about to get recall again too, so we could probably solidify this kill with our aim. Nice. Now I want us positioning a little bit forward. I really like... So I like positioning where they are going to be forced to engage. So I would consider just like literally lurking right here, and then as they drop off this high ground, or on this angle, as they drop off this high ground, we can get some free shots into them, and if something goes poorly, we can recall into this, or not recall, but we could blink into this, or we could blink over here. I wouldn't even mind waiting right here, but we could even get aggressive and like be here-ish and actually be spawn camping this side. I just want a little bit more aggression. Especially now that we have 3 blinks. Just blink into the Lucio. The way that the payload works, the ideal number of people on payload is 1. The amount of speed boost you get from having 2 people and the amount of speed boost you get from having 3 people just isn't really enough benefit for us to... Like, you killing people at the spawn is more valuable than an additional person on the payload, because this kind of guarantees we get more space, and the speed boost that we're getting from additional people being on the payload just isn't enough for us to stop shooting the pushing damage into their spawn doors. Focus the Lucio, nice, good recall. I'd still focus the Lucio. It's okay. We have a Tree of Life, so I want us to go into that. Yeah, we're not getting healed, so this leaves us 2 options. I would think when I hear our Life Weaver ult, this can heal us quite... It, like, does the healing pulses, so I'd consider trying to play around this even and be in this to get the healing. We need to be in front of our healers for them to really notice us, but if we didn't feel like we could get healed, we could go and get this mini. I think there's, like, a Mega over here that's been taken, but this is going to be hard for us to get. I think there's a health pack over here as well. There's a Mega over there. Don't be afraid to, like, especially on DPS heroes and flanking DPS heroes, map knowledge and health pack knowledge is crucial, so don't be afraid to, like, quiz yourself about, like, where is the health packs. Are we sitting on 3 blinks for a while too? No, we're not. We just got it. Okay. Yeah, I would just go probably get the Mega in all honesty. Nice. This is a disengage. Yeah, that's fine. So when I say this is a disengage, we have kind of two options. We actually can fully disengage, or we can try and be somewhere where it's going to take a while for them to get to, and we can maybe like get a pick and then get out. So I wouldn't mind maybe being up like right here and waiting for somebody to try and take this high ground. And then if they're like winning the 1v1, we can like triple blink over like over here-ish if we can, kind of stuff like that. Or if we're feeling extra cheeky, we could triple blink over here, or just one, two blinks, grab this, and then keep going in the engagement, recall, and then by then our team is probably here if we're distracting them for that long. So this is such a weird bug where it goes in the spawn room for a second before it changes. I don't mind this either. Actually, I like this a lot. This is very good. Suction waiver got staggered. Yeah, I think he saw your guns, so that's something to be a little bit weary of. So that's something I've kind of like, don't be afraid if you're in this scenario to either look a bit to the right or look into this wall just to hide your guns. So that'll be harder. Although be a little bit careful because your guns still could like peek out of this wall, but I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure that's why he saw you. I'd also recall. Yeah. Recall for health and then we'll have blinks to get out. Take a little bit more damage if you can before it. Yeah, that's fine. And now we have this high ground control. Ooh, there's a Doomfist. I want us recharging blink and recall and then engaging. Yep, this is fine. I like all this. I just want us to have 1 or 2 blinks before we engage. Good, good, good. I dropping at him. Yep. Very nice. I like this too. Very nice. Focus the Moira. She has no fade. Since our Moira is ulting, I wouldn't be afraid to stay in. Nice. That's fine. I'd consider trying to get somebody here. Nice. I like this. I think we could have stayed in a little bit longer. Because while it's scary, we've been in this position for a while, and we didn't recall any health. He hadn't hit us yet. So just stay in. Play a little scarier. I know Helix is scary. Helix with a few shots is really, kills us instantly. But don't be afraid to take some damage first. Yeah, they used a lot of good ults there. I would just wait. Yep, I love this. Exactly where I would have told you to be. We could hear the Mei though, so we know she might be up here. She's not. Lucio might have seen you. Oh my god, Kiri. I like this because so obviously you probably know this, but I'll say this for somebody who doesn't. There are 2 reasons we can recall. The one being the most obvious is we're low health and we want our health back. The other one is positioning. This is a very good recall in my opinion because we try and get some damage in, we realize what they're doing, we're pushing the pressure off of them, and what are we gonna do? We have 2 blinks, so maybe we could go this way, but these guys are really fast. They have a Lucio and a Junker Queen. You know what's gonna be harder for them to do? Get on the high ground. So this recall puts us in a really good position again. And now we can try and wait for our cooldown, for the rest of our team to engage, and we can be here. I would just keep waiting. This is nice. I was taking high ground again though. Good focus on the Lucio. Nice. I'd go under the left way, but this is also fine. The reason why I say left is because it's such a minute thing, but it's just because this door is not as far and as close to them as this door. So this one we can be even closer to them and get like shots from this angle, and it's closer to where we're trying to go, and we can also maybe afterwards flank this way. That's the only reason I say that door. They're both like fine. As long as we're not keep shooting from main, which we're kind of doing now, but in general we're still doing good stuff. Focus on Mei. Yep. Go left. Yep. Nice. Nice, nice. Want to go push up? I want us pushing that soldier. This is fine too. We know she doesn't have a fade. I like this. I like how long you stayed in. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Science hope.
Ready or battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, deep breaths. We can do this.
I like this spamming down this lane in particular. Oh, this is a little scary. I don't mind everything we just did. I'd push in a little bit instead of hitting. So we can just be like one step behind our Junker Queen. So we could kind of just keep this angle the whole time and then push in with her. And then we could also be like freezing the Mei. Nice though. Nice. Yeah, I still want us closer to Queen. Nice, I love this. I think that was a little unneeded, but I understand why you did it. And I want us resetting high ground after that. Yeah, so being able to shoot and spam the same thing you're doing from this angle is a little bit more valuable because it's easier for us to spam, hide, reload, spam, and then use this as natural cover. And then when our Junker Queen chooses to engage, if she chooses to engage this way, we can drop forward. And then if she chooses to engage like under the bridge, then we could go backwards. And honestly, the engagement under the bridge is a little bit better. So we're hoping that she does that. This is just kind of a scary 1v1. And I just want us to have that high ground control because it's much harder for them to shoot us on high ground than it is for the other way, for them to kill us on low ground. I'd wall this ball up if we can. It's fine. It's going to be hard to do so anyway. They got a pick. This is fine. This is a pretty chaotic fight. I like this. Focus on the Mei. Wall her off. Yes, beautiful. Kill her now. Focus Mei. Focus Mei. Beautiful. I like this. You see the Widow? We're scared of her. Nice. I like that. I would even maybe even Blizzard here. Nice. Just left click. Yep. I don't think we needed to reload there. Yeah, I understand why you did it, but when she's this low, we can reload after she's dead, and we get a speed boost on our reload as a DPS player when we kill her. So I want us just starting to left click here, and then as we hit W, she should die. This is fine. We can aim for a headshot. Keep shooting her. I just keep shooting her. This is fine, but now we're gonna be in a bad position. I'd consider ulting. Oh, nice try. We could have aimed that a little bit longer since she was in block. Her ball. Nice. Right clicks. Yep, beautiful. Nice. So, that worked out. I'm not a huge fan of throwing our ult very, very far. Probably one of the best things we could do is wall and then throw our ult into it. Just to kind of guarantee that we kill somebody like the ball. Another thing is, like, when I said earlier that I would want to ult, early ult is generally better than a later ult because that means that we can start building up ult charge again. Because your ult is another cooldown, so if we're holding it for too long, we're losing value and uptime. So I wouldn't be afraid to use an early ult because one, it gives us an early advantage, and two, it starts building our next ult. We can be a little bit more reckless with that. That's fine. I'd throw a wall over here-ish if we can, because then the ball can't escape. Just preemptively. Okay, I want us pushing up, and I really want us taking this high ground up here. This is fine. I like this. I'd wall. Yep. I'd start freezing this Mei before she's out of block. I don't think we necessarily needed to pop our block there. Yeah, we'd be okay. Our support should be alive. So just don't be afraid to preemptively like start freezing this Mei before the ice block goes. That way we get instant damage. This is nice. Careful the Widow. We see her. Nice. I think we've been able to track that the Ana hasn't crossed. Nice. You know, Moira doesn't have Fade, but we lost our Junker Queen. Yeah, this is a bit of a scary fight now. I like this. I'd wall off their supports. Nice. We could have done it a little bit sooner because if we put it under the bridge right here, it'd be much harder for them to get any of this healing in. Yep, after this I want us ulting. Beautiful. And then freeze. So when you ult, where's my cursor? When you ult, if you use your left click on these people, they'll freeze even sooner. So if you ult and then you just kind of like just 180 and left click all these people, they'll freeze extra fast. So Yana probably would have frozen before she slept you.
There's a lesson in every mistake.
Let's take him to the We're in this together. All of us. 10 seconds remaining.
In your movements, we will reign triumphant.
Disrupting.
You're coming at you.
This is fine. Yeah, this is kind of just a staggered engagement, so it's gonna be rough. Not much we could do there. I like this. I like this as well.
You're falling apart.
That's fine. I would still... I understand where this is coming from, but we see the diva using her boosters coming at us
You're falling apart.
right here. So I wouldn't be too afraid to just shoot her here, and then we can continue to punish her because she no longer has boosters to try and get out. So we can charge our railgun on her here. Because it either forces two things. It either forces her to use the rest of her DM, or just to take a lot of healing resources, and then we'll have a charged shot. I don't mind this. Nice. I like pushing this. Very nice placement of that. I think we could have won that for sure. Just a little bit of panic. And he hit his helix. We could have maybe meleeed as well.
I'll have to find a better way to engage.
Thank you.
I'd like us to decide to get the high ground. Beautiful. So with Sojourn, I don't mind shooting the tank a lot. It's kind of a controversial take, I think, because DPS shooting tanks isn't always the most ideal scenario, but in this scenario, if we shoot the diva, we build up our railgun charge, and then we can try and like headshot a squishy. And the more we shoot the diva, the more we get our ult, and our ult is very good on Sojourn. Like this, beautiful. Nice attempt. I like that. It's fine. I want us to take the high ground again. So I really want us right here as soon as we get ult. I would try and take this right high ground when we get our slide back right here. And we see this wall, I'd slide up here and possibly pop ult. Most likely, actually. But I want us ulting. Less so now because I'm scared against this visor. Yeah. This is a good example of like high ground is very, very strong here. It would have been a lot harder for him to shoot you. Just melee the railings. Nice try. I want us... I really want us ulting this next fight. Okay, nice, nice, nice. I was taking that high ground back though. Good. Nice. I want us ulting here. Yep. Stay on the high ground. So we can also, while we're waiting, we can weave in a few of our primary fires while we're waiting for this charge. It'll charge it a little bit faster. And then when we get out of the ult, it'll be less alarming. That's disappointing. I think I just want to don't be afraid, especially on heroes who are a little bit spammier. So I mean, like, Sojourn's obviously one of them. Soldier is another one of them. This is a little bit less so, but like, and then snipers as well. So Hanzo, Ashe, Widow. Just when you get the high ground, don't leave. Just try and avoid leaving unless medically necessary. And even if you do leave, then just go back to the next high ground. So if you lose this high ground, you can go back to this one over here. We constantly want to be on high ground because it's so much harder for them to kill us on the high ground. They have to commit cooldowns to get to us when we're up there. Oh, this is unfortunate. Oh, nice. So even here, I want us taking high ground now. Nice try. Nice.
Hello, thank you.
I'd side up high ground. Yep, nice. I'd even consider playing on top of these things, these speakers.
Not so fast.
No excuses now.
I'd stay down.
Nice. So I will say of the 3 DPS pures you played, I think your best one was definitely your Tracer. So I'd highly consider playing her the most. And then I think if you just play a little bit more aggressively on Tracer, and you also start thinking about if you actually need to recall after Pulse and starting to break that habit a little bit, I think you're going to be in a really, really good spot. And yeah.